43 of the prologue. And driblets fell his locks behind his head, down to his shoulders, which they overspread. Thinly they fell, like rat tails, one by one. He wore no hood upon his head, for fun. The hood inside his wallet had been stowed. He aimed at riding the latest mode. For this little cap, his head was bare, and his bulging eyeballs like a hair. He'd sewed a holy relic on his cap. A wallet lay before him on his lap, brimful of pardons come from Rome all hot. He had the same small voice a goat has got. His chin no beard had harbored, nor would harbor. Smoother than ever chin was left by barber. I judge he was gelding or a mare. As to his trade, from Berwick down to Ware, there was no partner of equal grace. For in his trunk he had a pillow case, which he asserted was Our Lady's veil. He said he had a gobbet of the sail. St. Peter had the time when he made bold, walk the waves till Jesus Christ cold. He had a cross of metal set with stones, and in a glass a rubble of pig's bones. And with these relics any time he found some poor up-country parson to astound. In one short day, and money down, he drew more than the person in a month or two, and by his flatteries and prevarication made monkeys priest and congregation. But still to do him justice first and last, in church he was the noblest ecclesiast. How well he read a lesson or told a story. But best of all he sang offertory, for well he knew that when that song was done he'd have to preach and tune his honey tongue, and well he could win silver from the crowd. That's why he sang so merrily and loud. Now I have told you shortly in a clause the rank, the array, the number, and the cause of our assembly in this company at Southwark in that high-class hostelry, known as the Tabard, close beside the bell. And now the time has come for me to tell how we behaved that evening. I'll begin after we had alighted at the inn. Then I'll report our journey, stage by stage, all the remainder of our pilgrimage. But first, I beg you, in courtesy, do not condemn me as unmannerly if I speak plainly, with no concealings, and give accounts of their words and dealings, using their very phrases as they fell. For certainly, as you know so well, he who repeats a tale after a man is bound to say as nearly as he can single word, if he remembers it, however rudely spoken or unfit, or else the tale he tells will be untrue, the things pretended and the phrases new. He may not flinch, although it were his brother. He may as well say one word as another. And Christ himself spoke broad and holy writ, that yet there is no scurrility in it. And Plato says, for those with power to read, the word shall be as cousin to the deed. Further, I beg you to forgive me if I neglect the order and degree, and what is due to rank and what I've planned. I'm short of wit, as you will understand. Our host gave us great welcome. Everyone was given a place and supper was begun. He served the finest victuals you could think. The wine was strong and we were glad to drink. A very striking man, our host withal, and fit to be a marshal in the hall. His eyes were bright, his girth a little wide. There is no finer burgess in Cheapside. Bold in his speech, yet wise and full of tact, there was no manly attribute he lacked. What's more, he was a merry-hearted man. After our meal, he jokingly began to talk of sport, and, among other things, after we'd settled up our reckonings, he said as follows: "Truly, gentlemen, you're very welcome, and I can't think when. Upon my word, I'm telling you no lie. I've seen a gathering here and that looked so spry. No, not this year, as in this tavern now. I'd think you up some fun if I knew how. And as it happens, a thought has just occurred to please you, costing nothing, on my word. You're off to Canterbury. Well, Godspeed. Blessed St. Thomas answer to your need. And I don't doubt before the journey's done, you mean to while the time in tales and fun. Indeed, there's little pleasure for your bones, riding along and all as dumb as stones. So let me then propose for your enjoyment, just as I said, a suitable employment. And if my notion suits and you agree, and promise to submit yourselves to me, playing your parts exactly as I say, tomorrow as you ride along the way, then by my father's soul, and he is dead, if you don't like it, you can have my head. Hold up your hands, and not another word. Well, our opinion was not long deferred. It seemed not worth a serious debate. We all agreed to it at any rate, and bade him issue what commands he would. My lords, he said, now listen for your good, and please don't treat my notion with disdain. This is the point, I'll make it short and plain. Each one of you shall help to make things slip by telling two stories on the outward trip. Canterbury, that's what I intend. And on the homeward way to journey's end, another two tales from the days of old, and then the man whose story is best told. That is to say, who gives the fullest measure of good morality and general pleasure. He shall be given a supper paid by all, here in this tavern, in this very hall. When we come back again from Canterbury, and in the hope to keep you bright and merry, I'll go alone with you myself and ride, all at my own expense, and serve as a guide. I'll be the judge, and those who won't obey shall pay for what we spend upon the way. Now, if you all agree to what you've heard, tell me at once, without another word, and I will make arrangements early for it. Of course we all agreed, in fact we swore delightedly, and made entreaty too, that he should act as he proposed to do, become our governor in short, and be judge of our tales, and in general referee, and set the supper at a certain price. We promised to be ruled by his advice. Come high, come low, unanimously thus we set him up in judgment over us. More wine was fetched, the business being done, we drank it off, and up went every one. To bed without a moment of delay. Early next morning, at the spring of day, up rose our host, and roused us like a cock, gathering us together in a flock. And off we rode a slightly faster pace than walking to St. Thomas's watering place. And there our host drew up, began to ease his horse, and said, now listen, if you please. My lords, remember what you promised me. If even son and maidens will agree, let's see who shall be first to tell a tale. And as I hope to drink good wine and ale, I'll be your judge. The rebel who disobeys, however much the journey costs, he pays. Now draw for cut, and then we can depart. The man who draws the shortest cut shall start. All right. That's it. Thank you very much.